Welcome to today's video on the zero balance trap, where an insurer or creditor confirms you owe nothing, maybe even sends you a refund, yet a phantom balance still gets sent to collections. In this episode, we'll break down why this happens, how to respond immediately, and how to protect your credit. Let's begin. Here's our roadmap. First, we define the zero balance trap and explain how automated billing systems cause it. Next, we walk through an immediate response plan. Then, we cover how to dispute with collectors if the original creditor does not recall the debt. After that, we discuss credit monitoring and disputes with the credit bureaus. Finally, we'll test your understanding with 2 short quizzes and finish with key takeaways. Before we go further, this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal or financial advice. Consumer protection laws vary by jurisdiction, and your facts may differ. For personalized guidance, consult a qualified professional. Imagine you receive a refund from your insurer confirming your balance is zero. You relax, assuming the issue is resolved. Then, unexpectedly, a debt collector contacts you about that same balance. This scenario happens due to back-end automation and data sync errors. Now let's define exactly what's going on and how to fix it quickly. The zero balance trap occurs when a creditor or insurer shows that your account has a zero balance, or even issues a refund, yet a legacy or outdated balance gets forwarded to a debt collector. The primary causes are automated processing errors, delayed updates, and data mismatches across systems. Despite the small dollar amounts, the impact can be significant once a collection appears on your credit reports. The key is to act quickly and document everything. This diagram shows the data journey. You pay or receive a refund, and the insurer confirms a zero balance. Due to system lags or batch processing errors, an old file may still flow to the collection agency. The collector then sends you a dunning letter or places a call. If the original creditor doesn't promptly recall the debt, you should send a written dispute to the collector within 30 days. The collector may seek validation from the original creditor. If the collector reports to the bureaus while the data is inaccurate, you must dispute with the credit bureaus as well. Each step emphasizes the importance of timely, documented actions. First, contact the original creditor or insurer. Do not engage heavily with the collector yet. Ask the creditor to immediately recall the account from the collection agency, because their records show a zero balance. Request written proof confirming the zero balance. If they refuse to email, ask for a physical mailed letter and request a reference or ticket number for your case. Document everything, including call times, names of representatives, and screenshots from your online portal. This documentation will be essential if you need to dispute later. Question: who should you contact first when you discover a collection on a balance already confirmed at zero by your insurer? Options: A. The debt collector. B. The original creditor or insurer. C. The credit bureaus. D. Your bank. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. The original creditor or insurer. They have the contractual relationship and the ability to recall the account from collections immediately when their records show a zero balance. Acting at the source is the fastest path to resolution. If the original creditor does not recall the debt quickly, send a written dispute to the collector within 30 days of receiving their first notice. Request validation and state clearly that the original creditor shows a zero balance. Include your full name, mailing address, any account or reference number, and a concise dispute statement. Attach copies of the zero balance confirmation or refund proof. Keep copies of all materials you send. Consider using certified mail for strong proof of mailing, although you may weigh the cost against the size of the alleged debt. Let's compare certified mail with regular first-class mail. Certified mail provides proof of mailing and often delivery tracking, giving you stronger evidence if the dispute is ever questioned. The trade-off is higher cost. Regular mail is cheaper and may be sufficient if you carefully document everything, such as saving copies and taking photos or scans of what you mailed. The decision depends on the amount in dispute, your budget, and how much documentation you want to maintain. This timeline highlights critical windows. Day 0 begins when you receive the collector's initial notice. During the first 10 days, gather your zero balance proof from the creditor. Between days 10 and 20, send your written dispute to the collector. The collector must pause collection activities pending validation once your dispute is received. If the item is reported anyway, immediately file disputes with the credit bureaus. The end goal is either a recall of the debt or removal of an inaccurate trade line from your credit reports. Monitoring your credit is essential. Use free tools or annual disclosures to check reports from all 3 major bureaus on a regular basis. If the incorrect collection appears, immediately file disputes with the bureaus and attach your zero balance proof and any correspondence with the collector. Schedule reminders for follow-ups and maintain a resolution log documenting dates, responses, and outcomes. Here is a quick reference table for your documentation. For your call log, track date and time, representative details, phone number, a summary of the call, and any reference number. For zero balance proof, keep the creditor's letter or statement, any refund confirmation, and relevant account screenshots. In your collector dispute letter, include your identifying information, the account number, a clear dispute statement, a validation request, and copies of your proof. In a bureau dispute, reference the specific trade line, explain the inaccuracy, attach proof, and request deletion. Use a follow-up calendar to track mail dates, investigation deadlines, and reminders to recheck your reports. This flowchart maps the entire process. You start by contacting the original creditor. If they recall the debt, obtain written proof, and then monitor your credit. If any inaccurate entry appears, dispute it with the bureaus to reach resolution. If the creditor does not recall the debt, send a written dispute to the collector. If the collector validates, compare the validation with your proof. When there is a mismatch, escalate with the creditor and the bureaus. If the collector cannot validate, the collection should be paused, and the creditor should recall it, leading to resolution. Use this simple letter to dispute and request validation from the collector. Fill in your personal details, the agency's details, and the account number. State that the original creditor shows a zero balance, request validation, and insist that collection activity cease pending validation. If it has been reported to credit bureaus, request that they mark it as disputed and correct any inaccurate reporting. Always keep copies of your correspondence and proof. Question: within how many days of receiving the collector's first letter should you send your written dispute to trigger your validation rights? Options are A. 7 days, B. 15 days, C. 30 days, D. 60 days. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section. The correct answer is C. 30 days. You must send the written dispute within 30 days of receiving the collector's first notice to invoke your validation rights. These are the key takeaways. Act quickly and document every interaction. Start by contacting the original creditor and request immediate recall of the account from collections. If they do not act fast, send a written dispute to the collector within 30 days. Monitor your credit across all 3 bureaus and dispute any inaccurate reporting immediately. Finally, choose your mailing method based on the trade-off between strong proof and cost. To recap, the zero balance trap happens when a zero balance is confirmed, but the account is mistakenly sent to collections due to system errors. The fastest fix is at the source. Ask the original creditor to recall the account and get written proof. If that fails, send a written dispute to the collector within 30 days. Meanwhile, monitor your credit reports closely and dispute any inaccurate entries with the credit bureaus immediately. Thanks for watching. Before you go, please like the video, share it with someone who might need this information, and subscribe for more strategies to protect your financial life. Drop your story or questions in the comments. What worked for you, and what still needs clarity? Your experience could help someone else.